Alright guys, so we're going to go out here and work on the L9000 a little bit. We're going to bring it in the shop here. I'm going to start getting this thing ready to paint and go bring this thing inside. Start getting her tore down. I think I'm going to do some metal work today. Got some rust in the bottom of the door. It's fairly bad, but I think I can build a patch for it. And got some rust in the back of the cab that I think I need to build a patch for. And really in pretty good shape though, but we're gonna paint this thing back white. But this door's pretty solid. There's no rust bubbles or anything, so this side should be good. But yeah, we're gonna paint this thing up and clean it up a little bit, and probably put some aluminum wheels on the front. Got to try and find some. They're stud pilots, so that makes it a little tough, but and they're 24.5. So here's what we're going to do. Hopefully, let's see just how bad it is. Well, it's pretty bad. We got to build a patch for this somehow. I think most of that will clean up. Oh, that's okay. But inside's decent too. Rockers are good. Got a pinhole there. Fix that. Cab corners are nice, but I gotta build a patch for the bottom of this. I could probably hunt a door somewhere, but I just don't really want to. So hopefully I can get something built up and make it nice, I hope. Just have to see, get these numbers off, grind some of this down, just see how bad it really is, and see if we can't start making a patch. Okay, so now I've cut it out. I probably should have made straight lines and measured and cut straight lines, but it's already cut now, so it's all right. So we're just gonna try to fold this out of here. It's probably spot welded in a few places. Prying tool. As you can see, the inner skin also is just plumb rotten. That's okay, we're gonna have to rebuild all of it. I didn't cut this rolled edge here because this is actually really solid. So I'm gonna leave this and I'm just gonna clean this inner rust up and I'm just gonna weld back to this. But I'll have to remake this inner skin here, unfortunately. Bolts in there. I have to try and fix this inner door panel unless I can find one. Anybody that has a old Ford big truck Louisville cab, oh man, the parts are really tough to find for them. You can find them, but they're just kind of tough to find, so I just assume not mess around trying to find them, just fix or make whatever I need, but probably gonna have to find some parts at some point. But this outer skin's good here. I don't know if you can see that. The outer skin's good back in here, but up in here it's rotted pretty far back behind it, but this outer skin's good, so I'm probably gonna have to send my inner skin in around a little more, cut this bottom edge off maybe. But when we make a patch, it'll come down and we'll leave enough and we'll roll it around just like it would have been from the factory. But we'll build the inner piece first, and then we'll roll the outer piece around it. So now I went through and I ended up cutting my corner off, which I meant to do it, but I didn't plan on when I told you a second ago. But this inner piece was pretty rotten, so for me to go down, I just had to cut the whole thing off. So anyways, I'll rebuild the whole corner. So I ended up cutting up to decent metal all the way across, and then I had to go back over here a little bit behind, as you can see, and cut that. So now this is all loose, and we can pry this a little bit here. Wiggle and shake. There you go. So now that leaves my outer panel, which is still good. It's not through or anything, but I cut my inner panel, which was rotten. So I'll rebuild my inner panel all the way across, and then I'll end up welding back to my outer panel. My outer panel is supposed to be folded here, but it'll be okay. It'll survive. Well, the further we got into it, the more we found. That's okay. I feel pretty confident that it's good back here in the back. So I'll end up making my patch go up, I guess. I don't know. I may end up cutting all the way up here. We'll just have to wait and see. But the more I ground the paint off this, the more I found holes in it. So, and then over here, this is pretty good here, but this down here, as you can see, is got holes in it. So no big deal. We'll just, when I come around the back side of this bracket, I'll just go up a little more, make a little bit further patch. But the contours of this inner panel will be pretty easy to make, so shouldn't be a huge problem. But that's all we're gonna do for today. I gotta get home, but it's a good stopping point, and then we'll come back tomorrow and probably start making our patches. And I really should be able to build that whole, I should be able to fix the rest of that door in just a couple hours, within just an evening. So Alright guys, so we're back out here on the Ford L9000, and so as y'all seen in the time lapse, we got the truck stripped down and getting it ready for paint. I was able to get a couple of my guys that work for me to stay over after work and help me get her stripped down. So still just got to get up on top and take the cab lights off and the CB antennas. Probably just going to leave the air horn and mask it off. And then still got to take the door handles off, but we'll take those off right before we go paint. So I haven't decided on what color I'm going to paint it or anything yet. I mean, I told you in an earlier video I was going to go back white, which is still the plan, but I was thinking about adding something, maybe adding some color to the fenders, maybe paint the fenders like a red or a blue. I'm not real sure. Got to get me a fiberglass visor for it, or I'd really like to have a drop visor for it, but I don't like the one that's made for these trucks specifically. So I measured the cab, and I'm going to try to find something that will fit off a different truck, because the ones that are made for these trucks, it's just a 13-inch drop visor, and I would like to have something a little more, but we may end up just going with a fiberglass visor. I don't know yet. I got to hit up some of the local junkyards and see if they've got anything, and if any of them have a fiberglass visor in that's in good shape that'll work, that's probably what I'll end up going with. But I'm not real sure just yet. So okay guys, so I've decided I'm going to turn the battery box sideways. I'm going to utilize the L brackets that are already there. I'm just going to unbolt it, turn it sideways, cut the excess off, and that'll tuck the battery box up quite a bit closer to the frame. Not as much as I was hoping. It's going to save me about 10, it's going to move about 10 inches. But I just think this thing sticks out way too far, and I just think it looks terrible the way it is. Would love to have some kind of nice shiny chrome one, but they're like $1,700–1,800 online, and I just ain't spending that on a battery box. So we're going to get this battery box out and flipped around and see how that looks. See if we don't like it better. Alright, so we got the battery box unbolted, and now we can take this. Let's see. Alright, that's nice. And hopefully do something like that. I don't really see why not. Bottom of it seems to be made to go the other direction, but we don't want that. We want it to sit just like that. And I know that's the wrong way, and somebody online is probably going to say something about it being the wrong way. That's okay with me. Then I'll trim these brackets off up under here, but I really don't know if I still like it or not. I just hate this battery box right here on the side of the frame. I just wish I could come up with a better solution for it. I had an 80s model white Road Commander that I sold just a few weeks ago, and they were in the middle, and I really liked that the best. I was able to put a catwalk across it, a removable catwalk, and you wouldn't be able to see it. But you got this big bulky thing out here. So there we go. We got the battery box turned sideways, and now it looks a lot better than what I was expecting it to. I think I'm gonna have to put a spacer under this back corner back here. So the bottom of that box is humped, and so that's why it looks like it's sitting kind of down towards the back, because the hump is the wrong way on that spot. So it sucked it down a little further, but I'll sort that out. But cables and everything still worked, so thankfully didn't have to do nothing crazy there. So that's it for today. I was really hoping to get the patch built in the door. Come to find out we didn't have the correct metal, so no big deal. We got something else done. That was something that I've been wanting to get accomplished. So we'll try to move on. I'm gonna try to get the door fixed, and I'm gonna try to spray this thing within about a week, maybe 2 weeks, I guess you'd call it. About a week and a half. So I got to fix the rust on the back of the cab. Hopefully that patch doesn't take me too long to build. It doesn't have to be perfect by any means. And then I got to do some sanding on the back of the cab, and I still got to fix this pinch weld up here where looks like someone got into it with a tree or something. I don't really know, but got to fix that, and then hopefully paint it, and hopefully we come up with some ideas of what we're going to paint it in the meantime. Have not decided just yet, but we will come up with something.